r/Nosleep. Posted by u/was1337. Don't be in Natahawk Forest after dark. For as long as you can remember, you've always wanted to go to Natahawk Forest. The thought of staring through the dense pine trees, listening to the calls of wild animals running amok, running your hands through the gentle rivers, it excites you. Families and friends visit it all the time, it's patrolled by local rangers, it's a fun time all around. But I have to warn you, when they tell you to leave before sundown, you really need to do so. Do not explore Natahawk Forest after dark. However, there is always the possibility that you get stuck somewhere, or that you may find yourself lost and unable to leave in time. Because this seems to happen every now and then, I've taken to writing a survival guide for emergency scenarios. I've been a ranger here for a while now and I've seen it all. Or at least I think so. So, if you find yourself running out of time and think you may need to try and survive a night in Natahawk Forest, refer to these rules and tips if you want to stand a chance. I will not sugarcoat anything, this is a matter of life or death. Rule 1, if you are not out of the forest before sundown, do not try to leave. The park will not let you and you will only end up more lost than usual, greatly increasing your chance of death. We request that you save your complimentary park flare for the morning so that we can locate you and rescue you. Rule 2, you are not imagining noises. Do not try to convince yourself that you are. Whatever you are hearing, you are undoubtedly hearing, and it is probably hungry. Pretending that it's nothing will lower your guard and you do not want that. Rule 3, you might think that you are safe up in the trees, but the trees are the worst place to be. Everything in this forest can climb and will use gravity to take you down. Rule 4, whatever you do, do not make a fire. Fire attracts the moths. The moths will leave you as just a pile of bones in under an hour. It is not a fun way to go. Rule 5, at some point during the night, you will see a set of red eyes staring at you from a distance. You need to lock your gaze with them until they disappear. It will take anywhere from 10 seconds to 2 minutes, give or take. If you blink, look away, have your vision obstructed, or anything, the beast will be on you in a flash. Eye contact is all that is keeping you alive in that situation. Rule 6, forget anything you know about what is safe to eat in a forest setting. At night, all foods in Natahawk Forest become incredibly poisonous. Unless you want to literally be puking your guts out, I strongly recommend avoiding eating until morning. Rule 7, if you hear any voices, do not engage. In fact, run as far away from the voices as you can. The voices will cry, scream, beg, do whatever it takes to try and convince you to come to it. We honestly don't know what happens to those who go to the voices. All we do know is that we often hear the voices of our missing rangers during the nights. Rule 8, the frogs will be your best friend during the night. Their croaks seem to keep the beast at bay. You should really find a frog to keep with you and don't let it go until morning. Rule 9, if you hear cicadas, you should be safe for the most part. If you don't hear cicadas, then the witch is nearby. Run. Rule 10, Natahawk swarming spiders are no joke. They weave some of the most durable and thick webs in the world, primarily to catch big game. Your big game. Thankfully, the density of the webs make them fairly easy to spot if you are paying attention. If you end up in one, don't struggle, it'll only be more painful. They'll have you covered in minutes. Rule 11, if at any point you taste blood in your mouth, it means that the crawlers have gotten in your mouth. Immediately flush your mouth with water and hope they all come out. Rule 12, whatever you do, do not fall asleep in the park after dark. You will experience vivid and horrific nightmares, and anything that happens in them, you will actually suffer. We've only ever had one person survive doing this, but we had to mercy kill them. Rule 13, if you hear any wolves howling at any point, howl back at them. It doesn't have to be a good howl, just do your best. They will recognize it and leave you alone for the rest of the night. Rule 14, you may hear a creepy voice of an older lady during the night. If you do, she will ask you if you want to have some tea. You must say yes to her. You won't see her or even have to drink anything, but if you don't agree, your screams from being disemboweled will be heard across the entire park. Rule 15, perhaps the most important piece of advice that I can give you is don't be in Natahawk Forest after dark. Next story of this video. Surviving the bayou during hunting season. Welcome, tourist. For God knows what reason, you decided that you wanted to visit the Louisiana bayou during hunting season. Maybe you wanted an adventure or you wanted to discover the local wildlife. I don't know and I don't care. I'll be your guide on one condition: you must follow every rule I give you to the letter. If you don't, I will gladly let the swamp have you and save my own ass. I'm only going to tell you the rules once, so you better pay attention. Rule 1, stay on the paths and out of the water. There are countless creatures in there that would love to eat you. The gators are the least of your worries, they'd be gentle with you in comparison to everything else. Rule 2, if anyone from the group falls into the water, do not go in after them. Let them save themselves. Rule 3, you might start to feel like you're being watched. You are. There's nothing you can do about it. Rule 4, yes, the trees will speak to you. No, you may not speak back to them. They view that as a sign of aggression. You will die. Painfully. Rule 5, you will each be given a handgun with 1 bullet. This is not for self-defense. This is for mercy. I strongly suggest you use it if the time comes. Rule 6, the crows are your friends. If you hear them cawing, find shelter immediately and close your eyes. Do not open your eyes until the cawing stops. Rule 7, we will be making a stop to visit Mrs. Grayson in her cabin. She gets very angry if I don't bring her visitors. When we get there, she will offer you tea. Drink it. If you don't, we will leave you with her. You won't like the basement. Rule 8, the hunter has been known to be a master of disguise and deception. All of us will be wearing white wristbands with bright red dots on them. If you notice anyone not wearing one, or wearing a different band, let me know immediately. Do not engage the person. Rule 9, at 12:21 exactly, my alarm will go off. As soon as you hear it, stop wherever you are and draw a circle on the ground around you with the salt I've given you. Do not leave this circle until I tell you to. The hunter will come for you if you do. Rule 10, if you smell a strong odor of mint, immediately alert me. You've been poisoned and I will give you an antidote. Rule 11, if you survive the trip, leave here and never come back. You will not survive a second trip.